Oh my, I'm going live about the retreat, and I'm really excited to be here to share this retreat with everyone because it's the first time I've ever hosted my own retreat, and Leanne Anderson and I are doing it together along with Chris Olivas, and we thought that it might be fun to jump on and invite you guys to learn about it with us. So I'm just going to take a minute and get Chris and Leanne on the call, and then we'll add them in and we'll have a little discussion about what it includes, how much it costs, because it's all inclusive, and we have organic food and all the spiritual aspects that come along with the creation of this retreat. It came to me in a message from Source at last year's Young Living Convention when we were in Florida. I was told to call Leanne, and that's what I did. Here she comes. So jump on, and then Chris is going to jump on, and maybe we'll get a few people that will see what we are talking about. Hi, Leanne. Yay.
Hi, Ellen.
I just talked a little bit about
I'm
how
so happy to be here.
me too. I was just sharing about how this all came about, and that I got this message during convention to connect with you, and we started talking, and then organically and authentically this retreat came together. So if you want to talk about that too, I'm going to share the link with Chris, and then
Okay.
we'll talk. Yeah.
Logged in at the exact time that Mary Young was announcing this collection. And once she described it, I knew this was something that was going to change thousands of people's lives, and the way the oils are going to work through us to help us express our highest potential in this lifetime is nothing short of, amazing. So, but right then, Ellen texted me. And I was already in this excited, blissful state, and I knew I was going to do something with it. And when she texted me, I was like, this is it. This is it. And so, yeah, we're excited to offer you this experience where you get to intimately connect with your own I am presence within you to really start to become aware of what it is in this lifetime that you get to express your divine destiny, if you will.
Oh, yes. So I remember that when they were talking about this collection, it was all about the collection at first. It wasn't about a retreat. It was about this collection. It fit with every single bit of the instruction that I've been doing for my own spiritual practice over the last 2 years. And so then we kind of collectively brought everything together. I don't think I'm going to be able to get Chris onto this. It doesn't look like the app that she has is supporting. So what we can do is maybe read her bio and a little bit about her, Leanne. I don't know if you still have that pulled up, but while you're looking for that,
Yes.
I'll go ahead and talk about what I'm going to bring to the retreat and why I'm so excited to share it. Oh, here, we can bring her on now. There we go. She's still there. I think she just had to be on watching for a while. And I'm inviting her to go on camera, but it doesn't seem to be working. But yes, so here's what I'm going to say. There she is, approved. Okay. It says I can't bring her on the call. What a bummer. We'll read her experience and like her stuff as well. But for me, I've had spiritual gifts since I woke from a coma when I was 12, and I hid in that for a long time, not sharing it with people, not really being comfortable. But now, and over the past 2 years, not only did I celebrate that and do I step into that, but I like to share it with the world. So I've been a music therapist and sound healer for a music therapist for 20 years, a sound healer as well for 10 years. I'm going to be bringing that. I work a lot with music and imagery because I came out of a coma to music myself. And then I do help people to connect their own higher self energy so that they can find the answers that they need for a more fulfilled and harmonious life. So I plan to bring those skills, those transformative pieces. I have a master's in transpersonal counseling psychology, which is spiritual. So I bring all of that to the table, and it's come together in this perfect way with you, Leanne, because you found this organic chef who's going to be preparing all of the meals. It's all inclusive. We have our own center with little bungalows. It's incredibly reasonable for 5 days amount of time. Like, we're not charging a super lot of money. We're going to provide toiletries and Young Living products and natural products as well to keep your frequency high. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about your contribution and what you see for the event?
Yeah, thank you. So I come from a background of really connecting to the physical side of healing, having had lots of early signs of autoimmune issues and digestive issues. And when I started healing my body through the foods that I eat, the meditative practices that I adopted, I started to see my body and experience my body as a sacred temple. And that brought me into this real experience of connecting with Mother Nature as a means of truly living in this life in a co-creative aspect of expressing, again, our highest potential. And so my education, it's from environmental policy to how to facilitate spiritual ceremonies, to yoga, to raindrop training. And so a lot of my spiritual practices include what I call plant spirits and crystal angels. And so I'm very much a water keeper as well. And I will bring all of that to the retreat with this idea of holding sacred space for your own connection to, again, your higher self and the elements around us, and journeying through sound and music and chanting and movement, and really learning that you are a being of energy and that you can and have sovereign power to claim that for yourself. I want to read Chris's bio because thank you. Yeah. Chris, we invited her to facilitate a guest workshop at the retreat, and she blends psychotherapy, quantum energy methods, shamanic principles, along with sound therapy and essential oils, sounds like us, Ellen, to clear limiting beliefs and emotional traumas that block you from your true self. So once the energetic densities are removed, the higher self anchors into the physical body and guides you to bring heaven to earth and walk your divine purpose. So Chris is a mystic healer who has awakened to her many incarnations and serves to awaken the divine feminine and masculine within humanity. That is a beautiful description, I think, of how well we three are going to work together, because I could be described in that too.
Yeah. In fact, what's really amazing about this is not only the sacredness of the land, and we know that. Anyone who knows longitude, latitude, the sacredness of land, and then Hawaiian land, if you've listened to the Bowl of Light, you'll understand a little more. There's an interview with the author of the Bowl of Light, and you can look in that and listen to that. It's a kind of an origination of light for us. And so we're calling this the sanctuary of light, and what people will get from it is so much more. We're going to provide everyone with an individual treatment, and they can have more than one if they choose, but it's free. All the food is organic, high frequency. We provide all the toiletries and everything, so you can just come and be in the space, live in high frequency with natural things around you to use at no extra cost. And this retreat too is it's very, very sacred land and you have your own space, it's going to be just powerful processes. So each person gets their individual thing. They can have aroma release, they can have a raindrop, they can have a singing bowl session, ancestral healing, you can have massage. We're going to have fitness every day. In the morning, we have a fitness guru and practitioner. We'll be doing breath work. So amidst the workshops each day, and we'll end fairly early so people have time in the evenings to do whatever they choose to do. But we'll have the workshops all day, and you can have individual treatments. You can have your own bungalow, and we're not doing upcharges for, you know, bungalows and things like that. There are different rates based on whether you want a shared room. You can share 15%, save 15% if you bring a friend. So people are really getting great content, and trips and airfare to Hawaii right now is insanely cheap. So it's kind of the perfect time to go. So I think that was our point, right? We wanted to jump on, talk a little bit about what we're bringing, and then also what people can expect and get from this. And you will leave this retreat floating. There's nothing like this. Leah and you and I have both worked in retreats our whole life, like facilitating and supporting others, but this is our retreat that we're putting together, and you will have the energetic support of everything from the trees, rocks, flowers, and soil of the land and the grounding that Leanne brings, to the past release and shamanic and ancestral healing, to then light beings, which I work with and bring through for healing and allow you to actually connect with your own higher light being, which is just powerful in itself. So yeah, you won't need a flight home. You'll yes. Fly there and back. That's what Chris has said.
Exactly. And so really true. It's about bringing your light to your community. And many of us are feeling maybe isolated and alone now in our own transformative process. And we're inviting you to come in community to magnify your calling. And that is what you're going to take back to your community, and you're going to be more impactful, more effective. We're going to allow you to continue to be in our community after the retreat, because we want to do this together. The world needs us to synergistically work together, and we can. We get together and we meditate, we send light out, even as we're in our different parts of the world after the retreat. One thing I wanted to say, Ellen, this is one of those synchronistic things that keep happening. You mentioned the bowl of light. I haven't mentioned it yet. Anela and I were both reading it. I was reading it this morning. The Hawaiian shaman that was referenced in that book is Anela's uncle. He named her daughter, and literally she's the one that signed up because she had a calling to go to the 19.5 degrees. Yes.
Every time that I've gone to Hawaii since reading that book, I always wanted to go. I never got there till I was 40, but when I arrived, I had read that book, and I was walking through a rainforest kind of with my children, but I fell behind, and I had this vision of a king in his robe walking next to me, and then I transformed into another bit of clothing, and there was a queen to my right, and I was told that I'd be brought back to Hawaii. And I said in my head, it was a beautiful experience, and I received all that they gave me in that moment, and I knew that that was true, but I didn't know how it would possibly happen. And they said that you'll be back in Hawaii within a year. And I went home and just did my Young Living business, and then won the trip to Hawaii. Less than a year later, I was back. And so I was told that I would be brought back regularly. And that book was and every time I go, I listen to interviews with the author, I read it again, and I think people will see that this is a divinely orchestrated. This isn't something that you and I just put together. You know, it's actually divinely orchestrated, and there are so many messages coming through. And so anyone who comes will have the benefit of that energy. I've been sharing my downloads with the world ever since they started flowing to me during COVID, about what we're going through, why the frequency is rising, why we're stepping into a new way of being. And daily, I have people coming to me not understanding their spiritual gifts and what's happening with them. And I'm trying to help them see this is normal, this is perfect, and this is what you need to bring. And it doesn't come without a shedding. And sometimes that's uncomfortable. And so people really need to surround themselves with others. This is just that jump start to what we're all bringing, and we're all brought together for a reason. It's going to be magic, total magic. So I'm blown away, but also I'm surprised and not surprised at the synchronicities. You know, it's like what happened when I gave a session the other day. Water was flowing in. There was interruption of another water thing. The internet went out. I was told by source we're supposed to be working only on the bowls, and then it was just their source intervenes. We're led, and that's what we're leading people to step into the calling, really. Yeah. Yay. That's so cool.
Yes. Yes.
And I know we have to jump off. It's going to be so, and I just I didn't want to take over there. Is there anything else you want to add about this amazing experience? I know it starts very reasonably. It's 5 days on a private retreat center, starting at 2,000, including food and accommodations and toiletries and special surprises and treatments. What else did I miss? Anything?
Well, we're going to put the website link below. It's at my website, leanneanderson.com, and you look under retreats, you'll find it, but I will add the link below. We welcome your questions. We have been cooped up for too long. Your invitation is here. You're watching this because you're meant to. So check in with yourself. If it feels good, we welcome you and invite you to join our magical gathering. Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you. Love
Every time we talk, something new reveals itself.
I love it. I love it. Oh, okay.
Bye.
Bye.